Oh, homie, sexuals. It was so good today. It was so fun. Honestly, I came in with such a mid mindset, not that I'm always trying to pump the passion as hard as I can, but like I was pretty low energy getting in. I was like, let's just try some no foot snatches, some back down type reps on bench press where I pause halfway through the ascension and then do a back down full rep. And I haven't benched in over 2 weeks now almost, and last time I snatched, as you saw, I failed 235 4 times out of 5. Not great. So I was just like, super low expectation, work with what we got, don't even stress about it, Let me tell you something, when there's a good mixture of that homie treatment, just some nice raw positivity, talking so much that I can't feel my lungs, I'm coughing so bad, oh man, the mucus has been killing me. But regardless, I just was like, let's just stop even thinking, Just gotta turn the brain off some days. Just yeet it, just throw that thing over your head. Because I really wanted to focus on the technique, especially today, because last time I hit no foot snatches, I spent half of the workout basically doing normal snatches because I kept letting my feet come off the ground. The effort was still really good, and I was still trying to keep my feet as close to the ground as possible, but it wasn't really hitting. And I did way better the whole time through today, for sure. Like, every rep looked pretty solid, but it wasn't until 205 where I really threw my body down under the weight as quickly as I could, That was really, really good. And the moment you hit that one, you just need to hit that one. You're like, oh, okay, we can keep her going. And again, I'm so used to doing the same type of jumps and weight every day. Like, I really don't like working with percentages when it comes to deciding your warm-up weights. I think in Olympic lifting especially, you tend to find what weights work best for you just based off the jumps that you're comfortable with, rather than the ones that seem statistically most probable, Because I used to do it that way, where I jump like only 20% of the time, but it prolongs the lightweight for too long to where you start burning out energy-wise, and then you don't hit enough weights when you get to the heavy stuff, and, you're doing, if I did a 20-pound jump or a 20% jump on back squat, I'd be jumping from, 400 pounds to 465. It'd be super dumb, 475. It's not an optimal jump at all. So, sticking to the weights that I know that I feel like if I hit them, I can move to the next step. And when 205 flew, and when I mean flew, it flew. I was like, okay, we got to go to 2 plates. Have to. And let me just tell you, it wasn't hitting 2 plates again with that hard of a technical lift that made me as confident as I am now. It's the fact that I did 235 after one failed attempt after the day I had the other day. Man, let me tell you, that is what gets you back in the game. That is what gets you back as confident as you want to be. I don't need to hit the same weights every day. I don't need to uphold a certain level of strength. But when it comes to the amount of effort and just consistency I can put behind it, the strength is just, it's an accessory that comes with it, man. If you are consistent and passionate about this shit, it'll come at some point. You just got to be patient. Sometimes it can take a month. Sometimes it can take several months to a year. Sometimes it takes 3 sessions, like this week, and I'm already back at it. We're definitely getting back on the normal program next week. Super excited for that. But one way or another, it's just solid effort, The form wasn't perfect at 235. The first rep technically was better because I got that perfect sticking point. I just didn't lock my elbows out where I needed to, and I let it fall behind. But if the weight goes behind your head, it's a technical issue, not a strength issue. So I had to attempt it again. I jumped right back on it. Lo and behold, a little bit of a hard stick when it comes to the shoulders. But again, after that many sets and going to weights that I didn't think I was going to hit, your shoulders are going to be a little numb at some point, right? Just don't even get me started with the bench press, because these back downs are difficult because it's moving a pause bench from the highest point of overall compression, the highest point of power, all the way to the lowest point of power in the sticking point, because at least for me, the hardest point of the bench press is not coming off of your chest. It's the halfway sticking point through the ascension itself. You get off your chest, and then you have to do that extra little drive through to where your triceps and your shoulders fully lock it out until it's above your head the way you want it to be. And let me tell you, when you move the pause from your chest to halfway through a rep, your shoulders are going to start crying. I promise you. But that's the point. I had somebody ask me today, like, why I was doing it. And I was just like, man, sometimes you just got to, first of all, mess around with something that you have no idea what your capabilities are, to get the passion going, to really test how technically strong you are, especially with me not being in the gym for a minute, because typically I like starting with a pause bench accessory when I get back. But I was like, I just want to feel the movement today, No expectations with the weight whatsoever. Do something light. Do something confident for a top-heavy single. And it just kept going, man. And let me tell you, 295 flew. And I didn't even feel all that confident doing it. Like, I changed my grip like maybe a month or two ago. And after recovering my shoulder, it's really confident, but it's still learning. My body doesn't feel as confident in it because I spent over a year or two doing close grip bench. So it's just going to take time to really isolate that technique. But all in all, I was able to actually hold the weight in a slower, more consistent manner on the way down, while also being able to drive through at my own rate on the way up, rather than have to explode with the power of 10 suns behind my shoulders and my pec trying to pull off the bone. And it got there. And again, it wasn't even 295 that brought that confidence back. It was the attempt at 315, because, like, spoiler alert, yeah, it's going to happen later on. You'll see it. But, brother, a 315? Back down, pause at the halfway through the ascension, sticking point, bench press. Oh my God. I didn't even expect myself to get near 3 plates for at least a week, And that is something different. And let me tell you, I didn't get it because, again, I'm just not strong enough, quite frankly. That's just how it is. I haven't benched in over 2 weeks. However, I had very solid form. I didn't let it get away from me. My wrist being fully aligned with my elbows allowed me to stay in the sticking point, because I did the halfway pause and then the back down, and I got right back in that sticking point. And that was why I wanted to emphasize it so much today, because I was actually able to hold my position through the sticking point for like 10 solid seconds, probably less, I'm over exaggerating, before I had my spotter grab it. And that is a great thing, because it means that your weight, the bench is not limited to just how hard you can explode off your chest and use momentum. It's purely just the strength in your arms, upper body, shoulders, chest, whatever you want to call it, holding true to how, technical your body aligns with the technique. I know I keep saying technical and technique a lot, but I'm excited, man. My voice is shot. I've been screaming all fucking day. I need a cough drop. But regardless, it's one of those sessions where you really, and this is going to sound dumb, but you got to just embrace stupidity sometimes, man. Because there are going to be rare days when your body feels apt enough and primed enough to allow you to do stupid things, Because everybody's always going to, I say stupid because that's just how people are like, oh, well, if you're lifting more than what you planned on, you're just lifting with stupidity or lifting with ego. And I'm like, yeah. That's what I love about the sport, I don't do it for anybody else. I don't do it for a competition. I do it because I love those highest passion days. And if my body doesn't feel at risk for injury and feels like it's got another set left in it, I'm going to push another fucking set, man. That's all there is to it. It's just, do I have enough? Is the passion there? Is everything lined up the way it needs to be for me to, quite frankly, fuck around and find out? And yeah, it was there. It was absolutely there. And I think if I had one bench session ahead of this one, absolutely probably would have smoked 315. Maybe even gone higher. You never know. And the last heavy bench press I hit, I capped at 335 on a normal rep, So we moving. We're certainly getting there. I'm excited for the next bench day. I'm really excited to get consistent with the programming again. Because after this last recovery week, doing all this technical stuff, I'm going to finally get back on the progressive overload and do an actual consistent true program for just the normal lifts to where I can gain some strength again. Because, I mean, I know I love talking about, and embracing the stupid days, just messing around, do whatever feels good in the moment. Because that's what I've been doing for, God, it feels like the past 6 months, honestly, because I've been so back and forth with really small injuries that don't take me out, but make me have to take some time off from strength building. But, I mean, I was really thinking about it today. And it's kind of fun because this month marks the 1 year anniversary, just about, from when my quad tendon in my left knee got messed up the first time. And if you've been here for a minute, you know I complained a lot about that for a long time because it was such a chronic pain that built up over a long period of time, not from poor technique or just some random off day. It was years of squatting incorrectly without realizing it, and then going too hard every single day to where my quad tendon just gave out. And when a tendon, bone, ligament, cartilage, anything like that starts to give out, it's 6 months to a year minimum, man, until you're back at full 100%, not even just strength, but confidence. I'm always talking about how in Olympic lifting, you really need the confidence to just crush your knees and your joints as hard as you want to, as long as they feel okay to, because that's what's required. You can't throw heavy stuff or get into the perfect technique position as fast as you need to, like I did on snatches today, unless you're willing to just jump into it without even a second thought about whether or not you'll be okay, because you have to trust the experience and the knowledge you've built up to this point to earn that ability to just throw it without even having to think, And so, I know I joke, but there truly is a desire and a purpose behind every lift and every, day I mess around, even though I make it seem like I'm just doing whatever the hell I want to. There's always a reason for it. There's always a bigger purpose. And so, this is the first time in a year I decided to go no recovery. Like I didn't feel any pain. I haven't had pain in months. Like I've been telling you guys, I was using knee sleeves just in case. And so I'm officially, like with the belt years ago, you guys have never seen me wear a belt, but I haven't worn a belt in about 4 years now. And I will never regret that, because if you're not susceptible to injury, you really don't need it, as long as you keep the weights where they need to be. And so I'm ripping the knee sleeves back off, man. I'm excited. I want my knees to feel that pressure again, because it's having that confidence, that overall strength, but also the knee sleeves do actually reduce your mobility by just that slight half an inch. And so it does actually make it a little bit harder to get into the bottom position. I know that that's half cope, because most people are just going to say pull harder, dive under quicker. But for me, it's mostly mental, like the rest of the sport. It makes me feel so much more in the moment, just raw altogether. The only more raw way I could do this is if I took my squat shoes off, but I ain't never doing that shit. My legs and arms are way too long for the sport to be trying to do this shit in flip-flops like some people do. I don't have the proportions for it. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to feel that uncomfortable or that at risk for injury, because that's just asking to get hurt, And it's not what I'm passionate about. That's the biggest thing. I'm passionate about doing it the way I want to, the way that it suits my body. So this is the first step to a next big moment, There's zero pain in my body. I can't remember the last time I said that. There's always been an injury. There's always been something lurking behind one of my joints, my rotator cuff, my knees, anything, my low back especially. And this is the first time in a year there's no pain. My technique has never been so good or confident. And I've never felt so knowledgeable about what my body's truly capable of, Because I don't push it. Like, you'll hear me yell, you'll hear me scream it out, but it's with confidence and knowing that I have what it takes to attempt that kind of a set or a rep, So, we're going to keep progressing. Physically, oh man, easily. Sheesh. Oh man, it'll just be a flat 9. Honestly, we're getting back to that consistent 9 area where this is the stepping stone. I don't really know what the norm is yet. I don't know where my baseline is, but we are so close. to some new peaks. I'm telling you, it's going to be so quick. My body has never, like, relearned how to do the sport so fast after taking so much time off and recovering for so long. So we're going to get it done 100%. We're going to do it right. We are not going to go so hard that it tanks the rest of my progress. I'm just going to do it my way at my own pace. And if anything feels off, I can just take a rest day if I want to, because it's not that big a deal. And I love that for myself. Damn it. Mentally, oh man. 9.2. It's a really good day. Really excited to be back into it. The new house is looking great. I have become a yard man officially. It's so fun. The yard hasn't been touched in 2 years here, and they definitely just uploaded the pictures that they took 2 years ago of it. And I have put like 8 hours into this yard, man. It's been so fun, just like raking everything up, getting all the roots out of the ground, making the fence look nice. It's simple, but it's like, it reminds you of like how to be grateful for the little things, you know? So I love it one way or another, but I'm doing great, and that's all that matters. You know, we're going to keep progressing, keep doing good. You'll see the progress one way or another, but I will be back day after tomorrow. It's finally a good rest day. I'm excited to just have a full day to myself because I don't work tomorrow either. That'll be great. And then when I get back, we'll do a heavy clean and jerk day and see how that goes. Clean and jerk, front squat, clean pulls, the norm. And if the next half of the week goes good, we're back on that progressive overload, man. We are so close, and I have never been more excited. So let me know how your lives and lists been going. Appreciate y'all hearing me out, and I love you. I'll be back. See you later. Bye.